Hello, it's June 3rd, 2023, and we're back with episode number 11. I'm Monica with Peaceful Times, and I have some stitching things, some quilting things, some life updates, some finishes. So, if you're new here, welcome. If you've been here before, welcome back. Go ahead and hit that like and subscribe if you like what you see, and let's get started. So last time I had shown this and I had it finished, well, almost finished, with a frame that I painted. And instead I decided to grab a hoop and put it in because I couldn't get the back of it to lay flat the way I wanted to. So I decided to go with a hoop instead with a bow, and I can hang it that way and enjoy having it finished this way instead. The next one that I worked on was Lizzy Kate's Think Spring, and this one I hadn't started, but I did have the threads pulled and the fabric for it. And this is it finished. I think it turned out super cute. The little ducky standing on top of the bunny in a basket with some Easter eggs and the carrot at the bottom. It did also come with a little butterfly button that I put on there. So that one turned out nicely. Then I had another one that I also created myself and did a finish on, and it's called Let It Snow. And so I dyed, this is like a Rit dye fabric, and this is just a chart that I created and put some little snowflakes on there with a little snowman. So that's one that you'll eventually see in my Etsy shop as well. As far as ones that I worked on, so those are the ones that I got done. I started working on the Stitching Bee. This is from Little House Needleworks. And I first started it and I just had the outline, the little stitchy outline. Since then I've added to it. I started with the white. So there is white on it, but it is picking up here, but it's not, it just kind of looks like goobers on there. It doesn't really, you can't really tell. Now what I'm stitching it on is French mocha, and it's a very open weave. Not real thrilled with an open weave like that. It's easy to stitch on because you can get in and out, but I just don't like the results. It just doesn't give you a good, crisp, defined result, I feel. So, but anyway, I'm going to work on that one. It's a good bee one for summertime. And then I also worked on these two others. Give me one sec. Okay, I'm back. So last month's Whip Go, I had Shannon Christine's Looks Like Christmas on there, and I worked on it a little bit, and I showed my progress previously, and I was able to add a little bit more to it. I got that wheel filled in, and a little bit more on this side and this side. The next one that I worked on, because I had finished my other pieces for WhipGo, was I bought this off the internet. It's called Possum Song. I just love it. It's so fun. He's got his like banjo and the all the different fall pieces, parts to it. It's from Mama Witch Cross Stitch. Mama Witch Cross Stitch. So that was a fun one. This is all the further I've gotten, but it's a good start. It'll be the circle that goes all the way around, so you can see that there's a bit of a start there. Okay. Then a friend of mine and I went to, I'd like to get her to come on here sometime. She is my quilting friend, but she does some cross stitch too. And we went to a quilt shop. They had a scavenger hunt. So they first of all handed you just a brown paper bag, like a lunch bag, lunch sack, right? And you started with number one, and number one was to pick out 4 2.5-inch pieces. So I picked out these 4 2.5-inch pieces. There's a white on white right here, hard to see, and then the orange and gray and the grunge. So you eventually sew those together. They were not sewn together, but I picked 4 to sew together. Then you went over and picked a piece of muslin, which just looks like this. It's this long piece of muslin. And then once you got to the next scavenger spot, you picked out a backing fabric, which I had mine match the other colors that I got. And then you went to another one and they had some wool pieces there, another 2.5-inch piece. So I picked out orange to go with my other orange pieces. Then you got to pick out a thing of sand, and then you knew, oh, pincushion. It's going to be a pincushion. How fun. And at the end, the last place that you went, you got to choose a button. So this was my button. It's kind of shimmery on the inside. It's a gold with like a pearly luminescent center. And at the very end, they made sure you had all your pieces and then gave you the sheet to make this cute little pin cushion. Okay, so it's a first bloom pin cushion. And so the top of mine is gonna be these pieces together. The wool piece will be cut into the little flower petals there. And then the button will go in the center. And I'll have a fun button for the center. And then my backing and the lining will be sewn together to put in the sand. So I'm excited to finish that. All I have done so far is put the 4 pieces together. But it was such a cute idea. I just loved it. We had so much fun going around. And what it did is it forced you to, like when the stores change where they put everything, it forces you to go in and find and look at everything in there that you might not have seen because maybe it's not your style of fabric, or it's like baby fabric. You're not looking for a baby to make a baby quilt now, so you just kind of skip over the baby fabric. But when you're forced to go in there, you're like, ooh, but this is cute. Ooh, I know that, so-and-so's pregnant and, I could make them a baby quilt, or so-and-so is a toddler and they could use a quilt. So it was super fun. I was thrilled to, get a night out and go hang out with her. And one of the things that I picked up, so this is kind of haul, but I'm going to just show it now, was I love this pattern company, which is the Pattern Basket. They have such cute, cute, cute designs all the time. And of course, I just love the little pumpkin. And do I have yardage and yardage of black and orange and black and orange? I have fat quarter bundles galore. I have it all. But this was just so cute, and I love the fabrics that they used for it. And I don't have this fat quarter bundle, so I was like, oh, why not? So it's super cute. I'm excited to put this together and have it ready to hang up in fall. As far as life update things go, I'm done with school. We got done like the 26th, and we had the weekend, and then we come back for a debrief week. So we come back for 3-4 days of cleaning out your rooms and going over the things that we wanted to keep for next year, and then try and work on figuring out some solutions for things that didn't work as well for the following year. So that was fun. It was good. I'm glad to be done. I start tutoring, and my daughter starts volleyball in a week from now. So I have a week or so to relax and get caught up on house things and some stitchy things and some floss tubes and then hit the ground running again. So another piece that I worked on was the one that my husband had gotten me for Christmas, and it is a freebie. It's the Appeal to Heaven, and Appeal to Heaven. And I got a little further. I also kind of have a boo-boo in it, but if I don't say anything, maybe nobody will notice. I don't know. I showed him, and he's like, I can't even see it, but you know, guys. So this is how far I've gotten so far with this one. I got it back out the other day because I want to use, it's a big piece of white, and I have another project, which I'll show you here in just a second, that I want to start on it. So as I was kitting it up, thinking, what am I going to use for fabric? I was like, ooh, I know a big piece of white that I have. So I'll have to finish this up so that I can work on this one. This was not haul this time around. I probably showed it to you at another time, but this is Primrose Cottage Stitches Hive Rules, and it's a super cute chart. I did one of their other ones as well, but I thought this would be a cute one to have to go with it. So the white, the Appeal to Heaven, will work well on that one. Another thing that I worked on was a chart that I'm making, and I haven't gotten very far, but this is a sneak peek called Pumpkin Kisses. It's going to be a little bit bigger than I thought it was, but I'll show it to you when it's all done. I had another one that I started. Where did it go, though? It's right here. Oh, I have a couple here still to show you. So this one was what I did. It's from Threadwork Primitives, and it's called Patriotic Rose. It was one of the ones I showed last time that my kids had picked out from the stitch shop, the local needlework shop in, I don't know if it was in Chandler, but it's Attic. And they, oh my gosh, best store ever. They even have a floss tube. I didn't realize that, but I was flipping through the other day and I'm like, I recognize that store. I recognize those people. I'm like, oh, that's the one from the Phoenix area. So this was my start. I had said that I wanted to have a little bit darker fabric so you could see the eagle head, and I think it shows up on there okay. This is just a coffee tea-dyed set of, I think it's like 22 count Ada or something. I don't know. Maybe it's just a 14 count. It's hard to tell once you've coffee tea-dyed something as to just exactly what it was, but I will lay out my little ruler on there and see what it is. Okay, so that was my Memorial Day start. I try to pick something patriotic. I think everybody does. And started working on that. As far as whip goes, the next two that were called for me are, the first one is by Heartstring Samplery, and it's one that I showed because I think I started it on New Year's Day. The coffee Quaker. I am doing it on 32 count vintage smoky white. And yes, I have put in 1 day so far. I know it's the 3rd day of June now, which I haven't had today. So I did only put in 1 day's worth of work on it, which is not very much, but it's a little corner that I've started. So I will hopefully have quite a bit more done the next time I show it at the end of the month. But that was my whip go pull along with, hold on one second, fabric's not cooperating. The other one is, it's another Quaker one. It was kind of funny. I was like, huh, this is sort of weird that they got called. You just never know, you know. I spread them out, but it was like number, was it 4 and 16 or something? But the other one for me is Halloween Quaker. This is by Lila's Studio. Lila's Studio. Oh boy. And it calls for murky for the fabric. So that is one thing that I did get not too long ago, was a piece of murky to put it on from 123 Stitch. They had been out for quite a while. Now I think I'm going to have enough left to do Frosty's Night Out, and I'll show you that next because that's part of the haul when I put a 123 Stitch order in, and I'd been waiting and waiting and waiting, and finally I had emailed them, and then they emailed me back like, are you going to order this? And I was like, well, I was just waiting for Fabric Flare carries a 36 count even weave ivory that I wanted for Fruits of Plenty. And then they said, oh, no, sorry, they're discontinuing it. We're not going to be able to get it reordered anymore. And I was like, oh, okay, well then, yeah, go ahead and send me my stuff. So one of the things that what was in my order was Frosty's Night Out. And it is a blackbird design. He's so cute. It too is called for on murky. So I'm in hopes that I'll have enough from the Halloween Quaker to do the small little, because it's not very big. I want to say like finishes on 36 count at like 6 by 6 or less, I thought. One moment. Oh, 4.5 by 4 5/8, and that's on 36 count. So I don't need but maybe a 6 by 6 inch piece, and I could do a circle with that. So I'm in hopes that there'll be enough at the end. So the other part that I was waiting for, I've shown you this previously. This is by Modern Folk Embroidery, and it's the Fruits of Plenty one. And it was Sarah's Stitchy Spot, that floss tube, Sarah from Sarah's Stitchy Spot, that I fell in love with this chart. She did it in these two colors, which are 932 and 939, these two blues. And it doesn't call for that. It's a different, these are different threads than what are called for. I don't remember what they called for, but it's a little bit different. And it called for it on 32 count, and I'm doing it on 36, but an even weave as well. I got a bunch of skeins. I don't think I'm going to need nearly as many, because if I'm doing it on a 36 count, I should be able to use just one thread, not two. I don't know. I can't find what colors it calls for. Doesn't matter. These are the ones I'm using. I think maybe it doesn't tell you. It just says do a light and a dark. And these are a little bit different colored, pieces. That looks pretty close right there, actually, but it's in real life, it's not as close. So this was the fabric. I did finally find it at Fat Quarter Shop, but I had to order a huge piece of it. But whatever. It's not like you can't use it for a million other things. It's a nice even weave. It's a ivory color. If nothing else, I can always over dye it myself for other things. And starting with an ivory, you'll get a lot of great colors. So I have that to work on. I'd like to start that at some point. but with the two Quakers, I know that neither one of those will get done, so I will probably be putting in an awful lot of time on those two patterns this month, and not and working on some of my own stuff that I'm trying to move forward. So as far as haul goes, I've sort of shown a bunch of it as I go along. Another thing I got from 123 Stitch was I wanted to try, Picture This Plus is one of my favorite dyers of fabric. So I wanted to try a couple new colors. Now, there is a floss tube, and I'm trying to think of the name. She did like one of the best videos I have ever seen done on fabric. She laid them out on white so that you got from different I think it was from different places. It might have been mostly from Picture This Plus because they've got such a great variety and they're so consistent in their dyeing that it may have been from them. But let me see if I can find who it was because I don't want to give the wrong name, the wrong like YouTube. Floss tube. There is a fly in here. It is super annoying. All right, let me see if I can find it here. One sec. Okay, so it's Lindy Stitches. That is who did a great video on all of her Picture This Plus pieces. And she has a beautiful array. Even if there's just small pieces left, she's kept them. She shows ways of like, putting them in a book and having them for reference later. She designs as well. And so she needs to have that reference as she's creating new ones. And it's a great video. Like I took so many notes when I watched that video. Just loved all the different shades and colors and types that they have. So this was from 123 Stitch. It is 36 count. Tycho, I don't know. But it's a very light, almost like I would say cream and sugar. I think I have some that's a lot like that. It reminds me of that type of color. And then I also got Dublin, I don't know. But it's a much more like latte or like a cafe latte or just even a vintage country mocha. Very caramely color to it. So the two of them together you can see are very, very different, but they're super pretty. Both of them are very nice. So, and I always get, what is it, 36 count. So, so I got those. And then one thing I'm starting is, let me show you a picture, is a quilt, and it's using English paper pieces, and it is this quilt here because it's just a PDF. So I've got a picture of it for you to see, and it's so pretty. So it's like a grandma's flower garden type of a quilt. It's again something that those of us who love to cross stitch, I think, enjoy making these. So I bought a set. I bought a set of 5. There's 100 in each, but I think it requires like 1,200 of these. They're pretty small. These are the 1-inch ones, but that's what it calls for. It doesn't come with the pattern. You have to buy these separate. These are from actual paper pieces, and I live in Northern Illinois, and so they used to be right here in my backyard. They used to be like 8 miles from my house where they created these, and then as they got super big, they left and moved to Paducah, right outside of Paducah, which is where the big Paducah Quilt Show is every year, and all the people who are artists and things tend to move down there or have a place down there as well. The big quilt museum is in Paducah, so I was a part of the guild in Rockford, and one year we took a plane, just a small charter, and flew down and flew back in the same day to go to Paducah. It was super fun. So anyway, these are paper pieces. If this is something you'd like me to do in a giveaway at some point, then I can do that as well. I think it's something that a lot of cross stitchers might enjoy doing because you're doing the same type of thing where you're sitting at night and doing some handwork. So, and then you put them together, and eventually you've got a beautiful quilt. All right, the other bit of haul I ordered online from a place called the Polka Dot Barn, a bunch of finishing things. So here is a set of blue, green, and pink little mini whatever they're called, the little mini polka dot balls. I have some from Hollis Hand Creates. These the little pom-poms. That's what they're called, pom-poms. So these are from Hollis Hand. These are from Lady Dot Creates, and these are the vintage. So they do have a like coffee tea dyed to them. It's so hard to see in this. I have this huge light right here above us to try and make it so that you can actually see, but yet sometimes it's hard to get the actual coloring. So Lady Dot Creates does a good job of dyeing those. These are just more of the regular colors. I thought this would be a good set for, there's like the darker teal and then some dark red, which I like for some of the vintagey type. What does Carol Saltbox Stitcher say? Rusty Crusty or whatever the type. And then some olive rickrack as well. Then I got a big set here of more. These are like I think these are 5 yards. Yeah, I've got 5 yards of each because of course you use cream and I use this aqua and everything. And then another set of the darker pink, some white, and more of the Kelly green for Christmas time. So those are the ones I got for that. Is it Hobby Lobby? Yep, at Hobby Lobby. I found this Dimensions kit, and it's the fun dragonflies, and I love those colors, the purples and the blues. It's all kitted up. It's normally $12.99. I got it on clearance for $2.24. Woot, woot. So I have no idea. I don't have any plans to put it in my rotation anytime soon, but I like it. So should be a pretty one. I think that's about all I have. Oh, I was going to look and see here. One thing I have started, and I don't have it to show you, but I got to be a part of. I wanted to do. I do the classic Colorworks subscription, like the club, where you get a set of 6 every month, and I wanted to have something like that for fabric because I'm trying to build my fabric stash as well. And so I found a place called BeStitchMe, and they have openings still. So I got my first, I just did the neutral one in 36 count. I got my first order with them coming. So maybe I'll have 2 by the time I come back again, and I can show you both of those. But they're just like a neutral. I think the first one was more of like this color, a little bit, it was darker, maybe even more brown than the caramely color that this is. But they were both, it was very nice. So I'll find that one and show you that next time along with the next one that I get. And I think the only other thing on here is the giveaways. So let's see. Hold on one second. I gotta find those. Okay. My husband and daughter came home in between, so I'm like taking 10,000 because my camera's not wanting to work for whatever reason. So before I get into the giveaways, I wanted to show you the Sun Bonnet Happy 4th from Tiger Lily Designs. She's so stinking cute. You can go to the website and it's a free design and she'll send you the PDFs for it. I want to say it was handmade by Sarah W., who I watched. She's got one floss tube and a lot of great stuff on her Instagram page, which is also Sarah, or handmade by Sarah W. But she showed this done up and is so cute. There's another one as well that's also a freebie that I thought would be cute, and she's got a watering can. And so here's the other one. I'm like, oh my gosh, they're so cute. That's just the spring one, the watering can. So I want to make them both up, make two little pillows, or maybe put them together as pillows. I don't know. We'll see. But those are super fun, and I wanted to show you those first. The other thing is Marjorie made. That's another. Those two floss tubes are new ones that I found and started watching and like. As well. Mouse Potato Designs, that's another floss tube that I seem to enjoy watching. She's out of, I think she's in Montana, and she's a hoot, so she's fun. All right, so giveaways. The first one was this pair of scissors, needlework scissors, and these go to Pat Hansen. Congrats, Pat. You need to be a subscriber and like the videos, and in order to win. So if you wouldn't mind DMing me, I'll put my email will be in the show notes, and you can let me know that you were the winner. The other one that we had to give away was Oh Dear, and it's a cute Christmas one, little Rudolph, and that goes to Lori Eden, E-D-E-N, Lori. So Lori and Pat, if you wouldn't mind getting a hold of me so I can get these sent out to you, that'd be great. And the two for next month. The first one is number 1, American Spirit. So this one was a stitch quarterly pattern. So if you would like this one, it's a good one for Memorial Day, for summer, for 4th of July. If you want a 4th of July start, this could be a good one for that. So this is number 1. And then number 2 is Cut Sew Press, and this is a It's So Emma design, and so anybody that likes to do all the stitching, sewing things, I love this type of thing too. So this is another fun one. This one is actually about a little over 6 by 9, and the American Spirit one was a little bit smaller. It's more a little over 5, almost by 5. So those are the 2 giveaways. So like, subscribe, share, and we'll see you next time. Take care.